Hey guys, what's going on? Legion Rudy here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP Grind, episode 130. Alright, so what are we going to be working on today? I mean, we've got quite a bit of food we could sort of put inside the fires. So let's go ahead and do that really quick so we can knock that out the way. And then we're going to go ahead and activate a cooking potion as well as a wild pie to give us the most XP. And let's just go ahead and pop a large walled stone, as obviously we will be getting back to combat rather soon, and it's important to make sure that survivability is at its highest opportunity. So quite a bit of stuff we're actually going to be getting since the 1-to-1 ratio. It's actually going to increase our food yield quite a bit as well. Really interested for farming coming to the game in December. It's going to make for quite an interesting thing, being able to grow my own crops. I think that's going to help a lot with cooking. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this stuff away, and then we're going to jump back to whatever else we can work on really quick. But really interested to see how things are going to change. Obviously, uh, I just had an idea in my head. It had to do with the fact that we're going to be able to grow our own crops. Not sure what that's quite going to look like. That's right. So in my head, I was just imagining, what if the update gets delayed a little bit? I feel like this is highly possible, and obviously it's a rather large update, giving us 2.5 times the size of the map that we currently have. Plus, we know there's going to be like skeleton warriors. So hopefully that's not the only thing. Obviously, I'm sure we'd all like to see a variety of creatures. We don't want it to be like with the Guru and Goblins, where it's just the same thing every time. That can get quite boring. So I'm really hoping that they decide to sort of make it interesting and add creatures that are monsters, whatever it might be, that we don't really know about. I think that the game needs it. I think too much of the same can be a bad thing. Up to this point, it's kept me busy, right? But moving forward, I do expect them to hopefully go into a place where we're seeing a variety. I think there's plenty of different things they can do. They obviously share a lot of information with us, and they haven't really talked about anything other than the skeleton creatures and the lesser dragons and things like that. Obviously, the lesser dragons are going to be phenomenal, and they're going to be very important to the game itself. But I still would like to see something other than the skeleton warriors. Um, I noticed that they talked about Black Knights, their sort of backstory, and how potentially, I'm guessing, quests involved with that, which would actually be really fun and exciting. The only thing is, I mean, maybe that could be something that could sort of break it up. Maybe we've got some Black Knights, maybe we've got the Skeleton Warriors. Hopefully, they can introduce some new animals that will make the game fun as well. Hopefully it's just not a bunch of sheep and ram again, even though I've enjoyed killing them quite a bit. I think I've killed probably upwards to about maybe 2,000 of each, something like that, potentially. So really hoping that they just start to introduce new things into the game so it's not too much of the same. Really interesting to see how the fights are going to go with the lesser dragons. If you think about it, obviously Velgar was, I mean, to some quite a bit of a challenge, to others not a challenge, but obviously everyone plays the game a little bit different, and so hopefully these lesser dragons are lesser of a threat and a little bit easier to potentially kill. Not too easy, but obviously to the point where I could kill them over and over and potentially get some good drops. I'm not even sure what they're going to drop. I usually don't go this way while I'm hunting for food, so let's do it this time and sort of see what we might get. We got some rats and goblins. I think that goblin's still chasing us potentially, and maybe not. I don't really like fighting goblins, to be quite honest, just because I guess I have hunted before this way. I thought this was a different way that I'm used to, but haven't done it a really long time. But it's just going to be very interesting to see the sort of direction that they take everything, and really hoping that they give us something other than just the skeletons, because as we all know, I mean, me personally, the Garu and the Goblin isn't enough. But obviously, this is still early access, and I think that they are not going to do that again. But like I said, they share so much with us and haven't really mentioned anything in regards to it. So, really, just gonna have to wait and see what happens, and hopefully, they go in the right direction with it, which I think they will. So, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let's see if I can find some more potatoes on my way down, as obviously I would like to get some more potatoes. Here we go. There's quite a bit. Um, I'm not really too interested in killing a lot of the lower level animals over here, creatures. Um, I thought I just grabbed all this. And if the respawn rate has changed on this, that would be phenomenal. I mean, it wouldn't really hurt anything, I don't think, only because obviously we're going to be able to grow a lot of this stuff ourselves. So, plus, it's just kind of nice to be able to go and get things and not have them sort of not be grown. But I think the respawn rate might have changed because I'm gathering these things actually quite fast. Um, we're gonna go ahead and go back to our base and grab the food that we did cook. Uh, I just sort of wanted to collect a little bit more because we're going to definitely need more to keep working on different things. So let's go ahead and put a cooking potion while pie is still active, and have not had a warband in a little while. And if you notice there, that potion did not actually activate. I closed it a little too soon. So let's go ahead and grab all this, which is a monumental amount, 1244 XP so far. Let's just push this to get it all in there, and then this did not fill up our inventory, which is great because we did not want to do that. So there we are. Let's go ahead and drop all this random stuff that we just happen to grab in here. Try to say somewhat organized. It's so easy to get unorganized. So let's drop all this food, which we actually got quite a bit just now. The burnt food thing they mentioned that was going to be happening, I haven't seen it yet. Um, Definitely looking forward to it. It's obviously going to be used for compost in farming, but like I stated, I haven't seen it yet. Um, so they probably won't introduce it until Valhalla, which is fine. I was just sort of hoping I could sort of stock up on burnt food so I could use it for compost, but it doesn't quite look like it's going to happen. And that's fine. So we've done that, and we've sort of cooked all that food. We've got quite a bit of XP. We worked on range a little bit. I'm trying to sort of see what else I could work on. Um, I could go get more dwarberries and work on ranged a little bit. Let's see. Really, I don't think there is a ranged potion, is there? Let's take a look really quick here before we go back out. Potions, attack potion. Look for, I guess, ranged. Maybe it's going to be a focused ranged potion. Ranged potion. Don't really see anything in the way of a ranged potion. It's interesting. Let's see. So no ranged potion, it doesn't look like. Unless I'm just missing it. It's really not the end of the world. Okay. I guess our cooking potion's still active, so we're going to go ahead and grab all this as well really quick. And it looks like a little bit of stuff is still cooking. So let's go back out here and see if we can't get some dwarberries. We are going to have to start working on rune crafting again rather soon, and just start getting all that together, as obviously we do need to hit 1,000,000. Sort of trying to delay it as long as I can, but I'm actually really excited about it, so it's a little tricky for me because I would love to hit that milestone. So like with construction, I sort of jumped the gun, and I'm glad I did not wait because it feels good to sort of have that done, and it's like an accomplishing feeling. So I'm glad it's done. But obviously now I mean I could work on construction a little bit more, but it just doesn't make any sense. I'm fairly certain I have all the XP that I'm going to need. I don't know what's going on. My character won't move. There's nothing really here that would be required to load in. We're sort of just stuck. Very interesting. The keyboard's fine. I mean, it's charging right now. So hopefully it fixes itself. I mean, we've never had a problem right here before specifically. Everything else in the game is sort of moving. Let's try to use our staff. Maybe that might actually help us out a little bit. I heard a noise in the background of my computer, but everything's still moving. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait this out. I think potentially it might actually be um it might actually be loading in from all the stuff I've got built over there. But I've never had the problem here before. So hopefully whatever's going on isn't a problem with the actual computer. Um I don't see why it would be though. I think the whole game would have locked up. So I guess while we wait, we can just sort of admire the nice scenery. I mean, look at the graphics. Look how amazing that is. They've done such a good job with the game, and so grateful for that. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, I was able to use my staff, right? So that's a good thing. So I guess we could get a little bit of magic XP right now until we can move again. And if the problem, oh, we're moving. So that was weird. So yes, probably a load-in thing. That's quite interesting how the game does that to me sometimes. Um, in certain areas, and then other times it won't do it at all. So we've decided to take on a shaman who could poison us, which can be a bad thing if we can't get him killed in time. Let's see if I can get the shot before he gets me. So we did get it, so that's good. Let's go back to our base, as we don't really like to hunt out here in the dark. That was unfortunate, that time wasted right there where we couldn't move. But it's just basically what happens when you want to build all these massive projects. And obviously no one's going to want to destroy them. So it's you sort of suffer at different times. But it's worth it, ultimately. If you've got projects you want to build in a game, go ahead and do it. Just try to pick an area that you're not going to be spending a lot of time at in the game. I think I picked a pretty good spot by accident. I don't really go to that area in the fractured plains that much. Um, so I think it kind of worked out. And if I had picked somewhere like here to build, that would have really hurt because I actually spend a lot of time in this area. So that would have been really bad. I wouldn't really be able to enjoy this part of the game. I would have sort of just had to leave it, and that wouldn't work because I spend so much time gathering dwarberries and killing creatures. And did I get those dwarberries? I did, okay. We got this ram coming back for vengeance. I thought I got him. I wasn't paying enough attention. So many dwarberries out here, so many sheep and ram, so many things. Let's go ahead and pop another wild pie. That one's sort of about to expire. Don't want to lose any XP. And then, as I've stated before, sometimes I just come out here and kill a ton of these and leave everything on the ground. And then when I come back out, I'll have a lot more to grab. So I went to the wrong spot. This one's pretty good for dwarberries as well. There's quite a bit right here, and then there's two more. And I think if you go up the hill, there's a little bit more, but we're not actually going to go all the way up the hill. I guess we're already right here. So I'm going to do exactly what I said I was not going to do. It just didn't make any sense to leave it. So let's go back to our base. We've got quite a bit of dwarberries. We can actually work on cooking a little bit more. But I feel pretty good. We've worked on a couple of things. We've worked on range. We've worked on cooking. Range and cooking, I guess, is what we've worked on. So felt like a lot more. For some reason, it felt like I've done something else. So let's go ahead and take a look. I don't really see anything else I can put with the clean water to get more cooking XP. But we can pop a cooking potion, which we're using these quite frequently now. So we're going to actually have to make more. We're going to have to collect more cabbage. But I think we're ready now to make all these. So, I mean, eventually I will go through my clean water that I've got and get some pretty decent cooking XP while doing so. It's just going to take time to collect all these secondary ingredients. But by the time I'm done, I'm going to have a ridiculous amount of food, which is going to be important because obviously those are going to be really good for me in Fell Hollow while I'm running around the game for hours on end. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead and push spacebar. That's a good idea. Gets these things sort of tidied up a little bit. Let's see. I mean, I can almost start destroying some of these chests once they get empty. There's all that coal. That's because once we built the grills, we no longer needed the coal, which was quite nice. Let's see. I'd like to eventually get all this stuff out. Like, these shouldn't even be in here. These belong in this side. And then, oh, so I've got a little bit more. And then these don't belong in here. They belong over here. What just happened? Is that okay? Let's take a look. We've got some other random stuff that really doesn't belong in here. Guess we could just work on rune crafting just slightly, because I know I've got a little bit of essence sort of scattered all around. See, we don't even really need all these chests here anymore because we're actually taking our time and making sure to make sure, things are organized. So at some point you can expect to see these chests gone, but then obviously we've got all these runes in here as well. So let's pop a rune crafting potion, sort of a waste, but not really that big of a deal. Let's just make sure we've got no other rune essence around that we can use. Obviously there's some more vault cores. And let's just go ahead and make some lore runes, as that seems to be the thing that I use pretty much the most at this current time. But there we go. So we just got another 735 rune crafting XP. So let's just go ahead and I think that's pretty much all I want to do right now. We can make some potions, I guess. Let's see. Some cooking potions. And those probably won't be in the video, me collecting those. That'll be behind the scenes. Okay, so unless I get attacked while I'm doing this, we're going to go ahead and do an XP update. 324,000 attack XP, 61,968 range XP, woodcutting 1,002,000, construction 2,014,000, rune crafting 977,428. So we're so close. We're about 22,575 XP or so away. So it's like nothing really. Magic 124,000, mining 4,240,000, artisan 4,127,000, and cooking 474,135 XP, which is crazy if you really think about it. Just, I mean, how far along I've come and how difficult it's been to actually level it up. And they made the change in the game, which has obviously made a huge change in our XP in cooking. So we can all be grateful for that. So obviously, we hope you guys are enjoying our content. I mean, we're on episode 130, and there's so many more to come. So thanks, guys, for watching our content and engaging with us. And hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventures in RuneScape Dragonwilds. And until next time, Legion Luda out.